Hello, I'm John Perry. I'm joined by Representative John Damoose. Representative, you've told me a number of times that one of your chief goals here in Lansing is to bring people together. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you check your beliefs at the door, but it does mean maybe finding some common ground and, is it fair to say, maybe treating other people with some grace?
Well, I think that's the call of our day, in fact. I mean, there's no reason why people need to be at each other's throats all the time. I mean, that doesn't mean just here in Lansing. It means at home. It means what we're seeing in the grocery stores. It means what we're seeing, sadly, in the schools. We need to rebuild this sense of grace and civility we've lost over the past couple decades, because at the end of the day, there's a certain way we're supposed to treat people. I mean, Scripture, I follow Scripture quite closely, or as best I can. It's very clear that we're supposed to treat people as we would like to be treated. We're supposed to love our enemies. I mean, these are revolutionary ideas, but in our Americans' past, this has been what's sort of defined us, and it's what's made us accomplish great things as a country. And we've seen that erode over the past couple decades, in a way that's really dangerous.
And it's fair to say, too, that in our own lifetimes that we have seen an erosion in just, again, that grace that people used to treat each other with. And it's diminished literally within a matter of decades.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for it. Social media, when it's very easy. I'm guilty of this, so I'm not preaching. I've done this. It's so easy to crack off some nasty sentence, and you feel good about yourself, pat yourself on the back, and then a few hours later you think back and said, I can't believe I just said that to another human being. But it didn't feel like it when I was on the computer. We've all done this. And I think a lot of it goes back to what I find is judging people's motives, and judging what drives them, and not giving them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I've had so many people who think totally differently than I do on politics. And we get into these great conversations because I don't start from the assumption that they're trying to do something nefarious to society. I'm starting from the assumption that they came about their views, no matter how crazy I actually may think these views are, through a legitimate, logical process.
Now, Representative, we're talking about things here that you as a state representative really can't legislate.
No.
But they are things that we as individuals as leaders, whether in Lansing or back home in our communities across the state, those are things that they can do on a personal basis, aren't they?
I think we need to make the decision to do it. And then you begin to intentionally practice it. I had actually a Democrat reach out to me the other day. He came up to me on the House floor and he said, John, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to tell you this before Thanksgiving, but he knew that we'd had a recent automobile accident. He said, I am so thankful that you and your family were safe. And I mean, I melted. I'd never even talked to this person. I thought, what a great guy. Now, there's no way, I might disagree with him on a million issues. There's no way I'm ever going to be rude to this guy or to be uncivil because of that one simple act of kindness. And the bottom line is, and I fear for this for sort of our side of the thing, where conservatives have always been about upholding these great ideals and lofty principles that made America great. We talk about big things and big ideas, and we get excited about those things. And over the past few years, I think we've allowed ourselves to just kind of become angry, and that's not productive. And not only is it not productive, it's counterproductive to the things we still care about. I go to town hall meetings and I love to interact with people about these things, and I love to be challenged on ideas. I mean, I find it totally stimulating when somebody comes at me with great arguments, and a lot of times I go away thinking about them. But I can't believe how many of us have descended to just sound bites and to just sort of cracking off things that we hear on television, and we're letting a lot of these big issues slip away. A lot of people aren't talking about what's really happening. I mean, we literally are on the verge of overturning Roe versus Wade right now. We should be celebrating this, but nobody's talking about it. And there's great things happening. There's terrible things happening, and I really feel like we need to get back to our core message of grace and civility and thoughtfulness, and how we approach politics, how we approach each other.
Good topics. We'll talk more. John Damoose, thank you very much. And thank you.